Broadcasting worldwide. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. If you want to be heard, say it here. On Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. People, 90.3 FM. The latest hits and the greatest memories on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
You are listening to
the number one station.
The Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
Network on this. Hallelujah, boys entertainment. You like Ronaldo, you not like football.
Welcome to the best exclusive radio station, VOP 90.3, bringing you the best mix of the best music.
You have to know the past to understand the present. So, let's bring you up to speed on important moments in the polity that you might have forgotten.
Politics as normal have been suspended today.
Detailed review plus analysis of all the local...
Senate moves to recover 6 trillion naira ground rent from property owners age 5.
And foreign stories that made the headlines during the week.
President Putin accepts defeat. President Putin keeps on coming back for more.
All of the intrigues.
PSS confirms interest flow in store in central government.
Tension.
The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what they do now.
Suspense and political dramas.
This is a shining moment. I commend
the Higgy Haggers that took center stage just within the week.
Down just a very, 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 very short breakdown of the topics we'll be looking at today. If you're just joining us, not to worry, you haven't missed a thing. The recap has just begun, and today we'll be looking at quite a number of topics. First up, Northern politicians' visit to Buhari is a plot to unseat Tinubu in 2027. This is according to former senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 8th National Assembly, Shehu Sani. President Tinubu appoints ex-Lagos Commissioner Olatunji Bello as FCCPC chairman. And now you might be wondering, why is this a topic and why is it trending? Well, you will get to know as the program progresses. President Tinubu to consult further on appropriate national minimum wage. The president has said needs more time to consult widely on the appropriate amount that should be paid as the minimum wage for workers in the public sector. And we'll be looking at this topic as the program progresses. Of course, we'll be looking at the Labour Party saying it is the only platform to give Peter Obi victory in 2027. It's saying, look, we remain the only platform that can make our 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi to win in the 2027 presidential election. And today we're going outside Nigeria to talk about Kenya's president withdrawing the tax plan after deadly protests, which really saw so there was a lot of bloodshed, and basically that's what it was, which this protest led to the death of so many young people. They've tagged it Gen Z protests, people who are protesting against tax hike in the country, and that's in Kenya. And after days of the protests, after days of police and even military intervention, after days of bloodshed, the president finally withdrew the tax plan after deadly protests. Anyway, all this and more we'll be discussing on the recap, which has just begun right now. We're taking the program up until 6 p.m. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell someone who's not so friendly that the recap has just begun. You can find us on YouTube at VOP 903 FM, at VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Yeah, type that into your search bar and you get to follow us live and direct. You can get to see the decor in the studio. You can get to put a face to the name. You can get to put a face to the voice. Yes, head on over to YouTube right now. Before we begin, I need to say a very, 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 very special happy birthday shout out to someone who's very important, someone who is very dear to me, and that's my friend Chef K. Happy birthday. Wait, let me reach for my bell. Yes, So it's the last Saturday of June, right? And some people are popping. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Chef Kuti. The best thing you can do for her today is to just go on Instagram and check out her business at Kuti's Diner. All right, so head on over to Instagram. I mean, no matter what's happening in this country, you have to eat, right? And where better to find good food in Lagos than at Kuti's Diner. So a very happy birthday to you, Chef Kuti. I hope you have an amazing day, and I cannot wait to come around and eat your amazing meals. After we've talked about all of these several different issues that trended during the week, that is. Anyway, the recap has just begun. Stay with us. All right, I'm not alone in the studio. It's time for me to introduce my guest who will be analyzing these different issues we want to talk about today. You know him, some of you love him, and for some of you, it's the other way around. Anyway, I have got a development economist, acclaimed author, as well as political, social, and national affairs analyst, Mr. Peter Obi, in the studio. He is a philosopher. He's a journalist. He's a best-selling author. He's a development economist. In fact, in case you did not know it, listen carefully. He is the author of Dangote's 10 Commandments and Money. Now, this book was rated as one of the best development books in the world by the Wall Street Journal. And here in Nigeria, it was adopted as a workbook for grooming entrepreneurs by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, which is a federal government agency in charge of small and medium businesses in the country. Wow, wow, wow. What a repertory. Anyway, Mr. Peter Obi will be analyzing issues and analyzing issues and the different topics we'll be talking about today. Welcome to the program, Mr. Obi.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, listeners. And happy weekend. So we have quite a lot to talk about, but before we go into it, I want you and I to have an agreement. I want you and I to make a pact, right? Are you with me?
Go on.
Okay, so right here, right now, today and during this program, I need you to just promise on your honor to keep it polite, keep it civil, and just, keep it right on the program. Do I have your promise?
Well, I spent 90 minutes watching Donald Trump and Joe Biden the debate. I'm going to play to the rules.
All right, not just play to the rules. I need you to promise to keep it polite and keep it civil. Do I have your promise?
I'm going to play to the rules.
As much as that is, you've not said what I want you to say. I just need to know that you're on the same page with me. Are you on the same page?
We're on the same page.
All right, then. So, Northern politicians visit to Buhari is a plot to unseat President Tinubu in 2027. Now, this is from the former senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 8th National Assembly, Shehu Sani. He's saying, this was actually last week. Does this visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari happened last week? And it was earlier this week, I think it was about Monday or Tuesday, that Shehu Sani came out to say this. Now, we do know that the previous week, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who was the PDP candidate in last year's election, and also former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and some other people paid what we call a Salah visit to the former president in his hometown of Daura in Katsina State. Now, Buhari handed over power to Tinubu, right? So he's our former president. According to Shehu Sani, he's saying that prominent Northerners want to resurrect Buhari's political charms. What does that even mean? And the fanaticism, and to mobilize the gullible to what he called a bewildering end. I know somebody will say, well, anyway, the former senator is saying that this project would definitely fail, and he's urging the Northerners to reject what he called the faces and their plot to unseat the president come 2027. Meanwhile, they have nothing to offer. Now, I think it was just yesterday was Friday, or the day before yesterday, Shehu Sani came out to say this again, that Northern politicians' plot to unseat Tinubu in 2027 would bring disunity in the country. And I've just kept asking, I've been asking the question, should somebody listen to him? Is he someone who is privy to information that we are not, seen as he's a northern leader? Do you expect the presidency to take this, I call it this warning, seriously? What do you have to say about that, Mr. Naske?
Well, for me, there's nothing. I want to start from the second thing that you said, bringing this unity. As long as the nation is free, fair, credible, Understand me? There's nothing like bringing disunity in the country. All Nigerians are yearning for is free, fair, credible election. Who wins is not important. And the question is the nation free? Is the nation fair? Is the nation credible? Once these three conditions are met, whoever wins is the people's choice. Understand? So even if a candidate from the south or southeast comes up and will be able to defeat Tinubu in 2027, or if another candidate is able to defeat Tinubu in 2027, the concern is the election free, fair? Understand me? Once it's free, once it's fair, once the election represents the will of the people, there's nothing wrong about it. So there's absolutely nothing wrong about it. But I understand the game that Sheikh Husani, because now El-Rufai has fallen out of the presidency. El-Rufai is no more on the good book of the presidency. So Sheikh Husani is now trying to fill in that space.
What space?
The space that El-Rufai vacated.
Which is what space?
The space that El-Rufai used to be Tinubu's Man Friday. El-Rufai used to be Tinubu's right-hand man.
You feel that is what Sheikh Husani has gone in for?
Because they are no more on the same page. So Sheikh Husani want to use this opportunity and fill that space. During the June 12th celebration, they invited Sheikh Husani to Abuja, Aso Rock, to come and deliver a lecture, which wouldn't have happened if El-Rufai is still in the good book of the presidency. So it is that space that is now trying that to fill, but giving himself a negative image.
So are you saying he's just crying wolf?
No. People have been seeing him as being a pro-people, as being a pro-masses. But the area he is going now, he's going to harm his own image. That is by now trying to be pro-Tinubu. That is one. Then on the issue of
how is he being pro Tinubu?
By saying if Tinubu is unseated in 2027, that is going to bring this unity.
You don't see it bringing any form of disunity, and that's why you feel that.
Has there been unity before? Has there been unity before? Is Nigeria united? So Nigeria has never been united, never. Capital. So if Tinubu is unseated in 2027, it is still the same river that all of us are in. But the concern should be, will the nation be free, fair? Understand me? Will the voice of will the people speak through their vote? If the people's vote count, whoever wins is not important. Then, for saying that they want Tinubu to Buhari to resurrect his own charm. From day one, Buhari has no charm. Buhari has no charm.
When you say charm, you mean charisma?
Charisma. He has no charisma. This is just somebody said that God loves all the poor so much that he created them to be in the to be bigger in the society, and this is the mentality of the people in the northern states. So Buhari looks like them. Buhari looks like a poor man. Understand? So these people now easily move towards him. So there's nothing charismatic about him. and it is the ordinary people that he is appealing to. Northerners are not too comfortable with robust looking people. At all. They are not too comfortable with people looking like Atiku. Understand? To them,
what you're saying is
no.
in that article looks healthier than Tinubu.
Robust.
And that's the thing. It looks healthier than him.
See them,
it looks better.
They see them as being a thief.
It looks like he's living a better life.
As being a corrupt. Sure. Understand me? So, but Buhari looks like them. So mentally, they drift towards he is like us. He is one of us. So that is what is happening. And that's how he got his famous 12 million votes, which nobody dies and nobody falls off. He has been maintaining 12 million votes since 2003. For charisma, he has not. But the mentality in the North, they always steal towards somebody who looks like them. And this has been the gospel that Buhari has been preaching. That he has no house in Abuja, he has nothing, he's a poor man. So the Northerners now, this person looks like us, he is one of us, therefore let us go to him. So, in Nigeria, our constitution specifies freedom of association. You have right to associate with whoever you want to associate. And we must not be reading meaning into everything that happens in the country. El-Rufai went to Buhari. Atiku went to Buhari. The former governor of Borno State, Amodu Sheriff, also went there. This is their constitutional right that they are exercising. So whatever meaning that anybody is reading to that is that person's business.
As far as you're concerned, this is a case of Sheikh Husani reading meaning into what is not.
Crying wolf.
Because I did ask earlier, is that what it is? So you don't feel that the fact that they went to visit Buhari doesn't mean that they are planning anything? Because he reiterated it again later this week, where he said, look, I know what I'm saying. And that's why I keep asking himself. He's a northern leader. Is he privy to some information?
I say he wants to enter Tinubu's good book.
In all, he's looking for attention.
He wants to enter Tinubu's good book. He want to fill in the vacuum that El-Rufai exited from.
And is there, if there is that vacuum, like you say, is there no one else? Is there no other northern leader?
This Kaduna affair.
Okay, you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The voice that you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Obi, development economist, acclaimed author, journalist, as well as a political, social, and national affairs analyst and commentator. My name is Chema Innocent and I'm your host. The recap will be going on up until 6 p.m. So keep your questions, your suggestions, your ideas, your opinions, just put it by a side pocket. At exactly 5 p.m. the phone lines will be open so that you can share them with us. We're talking the issues that made major headlines during the week. Now let's move on. President Tinubu appoints former Lagos Commissioner Olatunji Bello as FCCPC chairman. The president appointed him subject to Senate confirmation. This was contained in a statement signed by the president's special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngilale, on Monday this week. Bello is a lawyer, an administrator, and a journalist. The presidency has said it expects that the new CEO of these important agency will ensure what he called the holistic realization of the Commission's mandate to protect and promote the interest and welfare of Nigerian consumers. Why are we talking about this, Mr. Anoski? Is there something we should look inwards at? Is there something about this issue that we should be talking about that we're not?
Well, this issue is one of the reasons why Northerners are not too happy with Tinubu. They are saying that Tinubu has surrounded himself with Lagos boys. Because since 1999, Tunju Bendo has been in the service of Lagos State.
Since 1999.
Formerly, I know when he was commissioner for environment, he took over from Muis Banire. So since 1999, he has been he's a real Tinubu boy. And this is one of the reasons why the North are not happy, even though he is doing what what Buhari did. Because when Buhari was the president, he surrounded himself with his own northern people. So Tinubu has now come to do the same thing, surrounding himself. When you say Yorubas, Yoruba people will say no, and they're God's boys. But the issue is that this can never help us. It can never ever help us, because some time ago the head coach of Boston Celtics in America, that's an NBA team, wants to win an NBA. He has to go to Man City coach for ideas. The reason is because government, business, sports are all the same. They use the same principle.
Which is?
If you making use of the right people. Making use of the right people. So if you make use of the right people, you get the desired result. But when you appoint people based on nepotism, based on sentiment, you become like a national team. When you appoint people based on sentiment, based on nepotism, you become like a national team in football. And in a national team, if the country's goalkeeper is bad, they must make use of him, because they cannot go and buy a goalkeeper from another country. So what Tinubu is running now is like a national team. That's why club sides are doing better than national teams. When Tinubu was coming, he said he's not only going to appoint government of national unity, he's going to appoint government of national competence.
And you don't feel that has happened?
If you look at the position where they have drafted Tunju Bendo in, you can see that he doesn't have competence to function there. Because there is not his stuff. He doesn't have expertise to function there. So his appointment is based on being a good boy. He has served me well, and I want him to keep on serving me.
So what you're saying is most of the people in this current administration, most of the people in the president's cabinet, they are people who are not qualified to hold the positions that they are currently holding.
Most of them are not supposed to be where they are.
Including this Tunju Bendo.
I have nothing against Tunju Bendo, but that position, he cannot function there.
Why do you say so?
That's not his area. That is not his area. Now, people are saying, sack the power minister, sack the power minister, Adenabu. Why? Adenabu was a banker before his appointment.
So he doesn't have the requisite experience in power and energy sector.
The competence. Because there's what Warren Buffett calls a circumstance of of competence. If you are not in area that you have competence, you cannot function there.
And it's not where one can learn on the job.
There's no time learning on the government is a result business. You are not going there to give excuses. You are going there to give leadership. You are going there to give results.
And you would say so far, because according to you, these people are more like square pegs in round holes. They've not been functioning properly.
That's what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. So they are not happy because they believe that they put Tinubu in office, and he left them and is now appointing his own people. And they are right, because Tinubu got only 25% in the southwest, 60-something% in the north. So when they are holding their meetings, and you can see from their own point of view the reason that they are holding their own meetings. Today, people are criticizing Russia for invading Ukraine. The guilty party here is NATO, not Russia. The guilty party is America, is France, is Britain, is NATO countries, not Russia, because NATO defaulted in their agreement. So, but people don't research, they don't study. That's why they say, if you don't have the full stories, keep your mouth shut. So when they say that they not want to see Tinubu, they have their reasons.
That is if it is true.
They have their reasons because they are aggrieved. This is not what they feel, they expected that they are saying, that they are seeing. So Nigeria should function like a club side, not a national team. But for 8 years, Buhari functioned like a national team. And that's why the whole 8 years was waste. Tinubu has started again functioning like a national team. It is club sides that will give you results. If this guy is not good, even if somebody from Castina will work in that position, bring him. That's what club sides do. But in the national team, it doesn't function that way. So for Tinubu to succeed, his government must look like a club side, not a national team.
And so far, it's not been that way.
For now, it's a national team, and that's why what is happening now is happening.
Would it have been different if, as much as you term it a national team, it were actually people who were competent to be in such positions? Would it have been different?
It would have been quite different. Our economy would have been recovering by now if skills and competencies were used in the appointment. Understand? If skills and competencies were used in the appointment, our economy would have been recovering from now. Because Buhari messed the economy up. And Tinubu is not helping matters. But if his administration is based on competency, instead of on nepotism and sentiment, our economy will have been coming back now.
Now, are you said it would have been different if these were people who were actually competent enough to be in these areas that they've been appointed to. But then, are you sure though? Because we've seen cases where that has happened, and people will still
where
the thing is, people will still, you know how they say, no matter what you do, people will still talk. If there were people who were competent enough and it was still these quote unquote Lagos boys, would either northerners or southerners, would people still not complain?
My concern is competency, not where anybody comes from.
But then that is why federal character, the government of national unity, shouldn't that be put into cognizance?
That's why America is doing better than any other country. They don't care where you come. They don't care whether you are Indian, you are the Chinese. Once you can do the job, they will bring you in. The biggest companies in America are not headed by Americans. What they care is result. And that's what we should emulate in this country, not where somebody come from.
You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It doesn't matter where you come from as long as you're competent enough to handle the position that you have been appointed to. Well, moving forward, President Bola Tinubu has said he needs more time to consult widely on the appropriate amounts to be paid as new minimum wage for workers in the public sector. Now, the president gave the explanation at the Federal Executive Council meeting on Tuesday when the matter was put forward for deliberations. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, reviewed this while briefing State House correspondent on that same Tuesday. He said the memo was stepped down because the federal government thought it wise to cancel with other stakeholders, especially as the new wage proposals affect the local government areas, state and the federal government. Now, talking about state governors have said they should be allowed to negotiate for what they can pay, but the NLC and TUC saying that's not a good idea. They would rather a federally unified minimum wage. So the president is to consult for that on the appropriate national minimum wage. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I have said it over and over, even before Tinubu was sworn in. I said that he is going to run the Babangida kind of administration.
Which is?
Babangida was known as the Maradona, a dribbler. That was, if you read about Ibrahim Babangida, that's what they call him, Maradona. Understand? I said it that kind of administration that Tinubu will run, and that's what he is running at the moment. Because even NLC are not being foresighted, TUC are not being foresighted. They should have seen that a game is on. That this presidency is not sincere. You cannot go on a negotiation and you leave stakeholders behind. You have to negotiate, renegotiate, and continue negotiation. And the presidency is smarter than them. That's why they may not even get this minimum wage approved this year. Because after they finish with the presidency, they have to go back to the governors.
For those ones to actually agree if they will pay or not.
Sure, they have to go back to the governors. Then the OPS, that's organized private sector, are also there. So if these guys are not, they may not get this minimum wage approved this year. Because they are not being... They do not understand the game that is on. Now, what they were expecting was that Tinubu was going to announce the new minimum wage. They were even threatening him, don't announce a minimum wage that would not negotiate with you. Why they don't know that Tinubu is not even ready to announce any wage. So he has told you that he's going to consult. You have to give him time. The consultation is not going to end with him. After, he will still push it back to the state governors.
But you feel like personally these are just delay tactics?
That's why I say he is Maradona. That's why I say he is Maradona. And that's if Nigerians are, when somebody comes into office, do a research, know about him and know how to approach him. Because Tinubu will be dribbling them till the end of his first term.
And you feel like Labour has not done its homework when it comes to how to approach or deal with or negotiate with the presidency?
I said they are not being foresighted. The presidency is smarter than them. Because this thing, he now said, we are stepping down, we are going to negotiate with the other stakeholders. negotiation can take 3 months. It can take 6 months. And after the presidency has negotiated, he will still send it back to the states. Then the states agree with the workers in their own states. But what I know that will not work is a uniform minimum wage.
Do you feel that that is one of the reasons why there hasn't been an agreement up until now, and that's also one of the reasons why the federal and state governments are stalling?
Well, they are stalling because they may not even have money to even pay. They are stalling because there may not be money to pay. The finance minister said that Nigeria revenue now comes mainly from taxes. And how much are they using in servicing of debt? So the dribbling could be because there's no money to pay, and they'll continue to do the same thing. As I said, I don't agree to a uniform minimum wage because all the states are not equal. What Lagos can pay, Kebbi State cannot pay it. What Rivers can pay, Sokoto State cannot pay it. What Akwa Ibom can pay, Gombe cannot pay it. Understand me? So uniform minimum wage cannot work. What is minimum wage? The basic. Federal government can, the only thing that the federal government can do is just that to give them the basic. Understand? Maybe 60K. And now for the state to take it up from there. If federal announce 60K as the basic, then other states can begin that to say, we will pay 65, we will pay 62, we will pay 70. Understand? But saying that a minimum, nowhere in the world that they have a uniform minimum wage. So it cannot work in this country because all the states are not equal with regard to IGR. Apapa, which is a local government in Lagos State, is richer than Enugu State. Etiosa, which is a local government in Lagos State, is richer than Ebonyi State. Therefore, you cannot tell the governor of Ebonyi to pay what Sanwo-Olu is paying. It doesn't make sense.
You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Obi, development economist, a journalist, acclaimed author, as well as political, social, and national affairs analyst. And we've been discussing quite a number of issues right here on the recap. We've talked about a former senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District, Shehu Sani, saying another politician's visit to Buhari is a plot to unseat Tinubu in 2027. And of course, is being treated like he's just crying wolf. And also, President Tinubu appoints former Lagos Commissioner Olatunji Bello as a chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC. We also talked about how the president will consult further on appropriate and national minimum wage. And Mr. Noske, you have said that this is just a time buying tactic. Anyway, because of our time, let's move on to the very next issue. We'll still visit all of these issues at least a little bit before we start taking calls, or after we start taking calls. We are the only platform to give Peter Obi victory in 2027 Labour Party. Now, the party says it remains the only platform that will make its 2023 candidate, Peter Obi, to win in 2027 elections. The national vice chairman of the party, Ayo Olorunfemi, made this statement in a television interview on Wednesday. Now, you recall that Peter Obi, who ran for presidency under the Labour Party in last year's election, he's come under, what we could call pressure from some members of his obedient support group to quit the party. The party we know has been hit by crisis after the elections ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, reacting to the call for Obi to leave the party, Olorunfemi said true obedience will not suggest for Obi to leave the party. So, would you say, Mr. Noski, as much as the obedient movement is different from Labour Party faithfuls, that the fact that he ran under the Labour Party it's also one reason why he has that obedient supporters? But then some of these people have been saying it may be time for you to leave the party. Any party you move to, we will move with you. I know you've said before that Peter Obi is a full-grown man and nobody can tell him what to do. But in this case, would you say the Labour Party, they are trying to hold on to him, or are they grappling at straws?
Well, what they are doing is a military tactics known as divide and conquer. That is what Abure, Arabambi, and this guy wants to do. This is a deception. That is. Imagine all the noise that Apapa made. Now coming say that he has recognized Abure. Now that they must not allow P2B to go to PDP. So they are now seeing a P2B as a messiah, as important. Why during the petition days they went to court and said that P2B did not have their permission that to file case against Tinubu. So what they are doing is to deceive P2B so that P2B will remain in Labour Party, so that what happened in 2023 will also happen in 2027. That's exactly what they want to achieve. That's why Abure, Namidi Apapa, has suddenly recognized Abure as national chairman of LP. And this guy is also, it is a game, it is what they just want to do is to keep P2B there, knowing that they don't have the structure to win. So that Obi will not move into a strong alliance
so
or
the
coalition.
Labour Party is trying to hold him down.
They are trying to hold him down, so that Tinubu will have an easy win in 2027. Understand me?
So are you saying even the party, this what they're talking about, saying well, the only wants to give him victory? They're not saying that for his own good.
All
the good of the party?
all of them are working for Tinubu. All these names that's I don't know he's working for
Olorunfemi.
He's working for Tinubu
from in the Labour Party.
In the Labour Party.
How?
I said this is divide and conquer. It's a military tactics. Tinubu has his hands in all the parties. And that is politics for you. Politics is not a moral business. Politics is not a game that you play with a Bible in your hand. So Tinubu has his hands in all the parties. So these people that you are mentioning, Arabambi, Namidi Apapa, this whatever, are all agents of Tinubu in the Labour Party. All they want to do is to pigeonhole P2B there, so that pigeonhole P2B, then Damagu and Wike will destroy PDP, so that Tinubu would have that's an easy win in 2027. So they are not saying this that they're not P2B. Understand?
You know, it's one thing for you to say that there are people who want to destroy these parties, but it's another thing for you to actually call the president's name and say he is the one. This is like an allegation that you may be called upon to.
I say it is politics. It is politics.
As much as it is politics, are you giving us information that you are personally and privately privy to?
Tinubu is a politician. Anybody that understands politics is not strange. If you are a good politician, you must have your people in all the parties so that you'll be getting information on what is going on there. That is politics.
Would they be so blasé? Would they be so laissez-faire? Would they be so brazen with it? Would they?
Everything is turned out towards winning an election at the end of the day. That is all. But you need information. And this is how to get those information. Any party that is becoming too strong, you send people to bring them down. And that's what Wike and Damagu are doing in PDP. So they are not saying that they want Peter Obi that to win in 2027. But just to pigeonhole him there, no single party can remove APC in office in 2027. PDP was removed by a coalition of ACN, CPC, AMPP, and the faction of ABGA led by Richard Okorocha. So, Atiku, Peter Obi, Kwakwaso, and others can still come together and push that APC off.
So only a coalition can defeat the current ruling party.
Only a coalition, and only it was a coalition that defeated PDP.
So you advocate for this same template to be applied, and would you suggest for the Labour Party to be a part of it? All these measures that we've been hearing about and they've been debunking.
For me, I trust the obedience more than I trust LP.
Why is that? And do you think that they're still as strong as they was in the thick of last year's elections? Aren't there some of them who may have already been discouraged by the crisis?
No. They are still hungry. Assuming that they are getting comfortable, they are getting richer, but the hunger is still there. The circumstances of 2003 is still there. Nothing has
So you feel nothing has changed up to this point?
The hunger is still there.
All right, you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I'm your host. My name is Chima Innocent. On the other side of the table, I have Mr. Peter Anoski, who has been analyzing several different issues that we're talking about today. And we've talked about quite a number of issues. We'll be taking a short recap just before 5 p.m. Remember that at exactly 5 p.m. the phone lines will be open and you can share your opinions, your suggestions, your ideas with us on the program today. And when the phone lines are open, I'll give you the phone number to call, not to worry. But then we need to go on to our very, very, very final topic of today. And for this one, we're going outside the shores of Nigeria. Kenyan president withdraws a tax plan after the protest. We do know that Kenyans have been protesting for days now due to the Finance Bill 2024, which they are rejecting. And one thing I just cannot fathom on this bill is the tax on bread. You're taxing bread? Bread? Why is that? And the Kenyans have not been happy about this. But the thing is, what we could call good news at the end of the day, when the president finally withdrew the finance bill that had been causing this deadly protest. It was a controversial bill, actually, and in fact, Kenyans set ablaze their parliament, what we could call our National Assembly in Nigeria. While addressing the nation, President William Ruto said it was clear that Kenyans do not want, that they want nothing to do with the bill, and he said, "I concede," saying he will not sign the bill into law. Now, this is after at least, and knowing Africans, the number is probably much more, at least 22 people were killed in these protests. This is according to the state-funded Kenyan National Commission on Human Rights. The president is saying he will enter into dialogue with the young people who were at the forefront of some of the biggest protests to hit the country since he was elected in 2022. So, Mr. Peter Obi, I would like to ask the question. This more or less mirrors the NSAS that happened in October 2020 in Nigeria, and after the after the shootings and the injuries, people dispersed and people were no longer came together. Would you say that, of course, many have termed this a win for Kenya because the president has finally revoked the bill? It will no longer be signed into law. But why could that extent of actually unleashing the police on protesters? You would literally log into social media and the first thing you will see is a brain on the floor and then blood just flowing. Is it too much that people come out to say we don't like this thing?
Kenyan citizens say it's not that the president must step down.
Yes.
So
they've been protesting for that
the protest
as well.
still continues, and I know the president must step down.
You are expecting William Ruto to step down?
The president must step down. Sri Lanka, they went and chased their president out of his office. Sri Lanka, when the hardship became too much, they mobilized, went and chased their president. Their president jumped fence because power belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people. Those in the offices are holding power in trust for the people. So these people want to take what belongs to them. But if it's to happen, there must be sacrifices. For it to happen, there must be sacrifices. And in Kenya, before the president said that the people have spoken, about 23 people has already died. Understand? So for it to happen, there must be sacrifices. When that's last week, when I said that Nigerians are docile, so some people attack me. Understand? That why should I say that Nigerians are docile? If you want to come out, they will shoot you. If you want to come out, they will kill you. So, and to me, that is definition of docility. If we say nobody wants to die, and nobody would die, nobody would die. What is happening will keep on happening. But some people are trained, that's consciously and unconsciously, for this. Nigeria got their independence on a platter. We didn't fight the British. What happened in Kenya did not happen in this country. In Kenya, they have the Mawo that's a gorilla soldier. Gorilla and soldier that they were using that to fight the British. So from day one, they have been conditioned to struggle. But it is the Awonowos, the Azikiwes, that we are going and having meeting with this white men. So our own case is different from theirs. Our own case in South Africa is not the same thing. So those people have that in their system. We don't. We don't. That's why I say that and that's Nigeria. We can endure anything. The condition of Kenyans are far better than that of our own country. What they are protesting is a hike in taxes. So, but here, what has happened here, 10% of it has not happened there. If you go to a train station in Kanu, in Kenya, their train station is more beautiful than Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, and the Murtala Mohammed Airport here. That's simple. It's an organized economy. But still, I keep on saying foundation. They struggled to get their independence. And the story of that must have passed down from one generation to the other. This is how we fought to get this thing that we have. We cannot tell that same story that's of our own. So some people are equipped, some are not equipped. Some people are equipped for struggle. Some are not equipped. So Nigerians are not equipped. And the Kenyan president has seen, he testified that my people are not happy with this, therefore I will not sign. That shows that he's holding power in trust for his people, that the power he's holding belongs to his own people. But to hear, those who are holding powers feel that the power belongs to them. So that's the difference between Kenya and us. That's the difference between South Africa and us. That's the difference between Zambia and us. They have better struggle stories to tell more than us. Nobody in Nigeria will say that his grandfather was shot during the independence or during the struggle for independence. So that is why we are where we are. And that's why Nigerians are ready to accept anything. I have said it on this program that even if we begin to sell at 1,000 naira per liter today, Nigerians will still buy.
All right. Because of our time, I did say the phone lines will be open at exactly 5 p.m. So let's take a very short break. And when we return, the conversation will continue. You've been listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just stay with us. We just want to take a very, 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 very short breaks, and we will be back. Of course, the recap will be continuing when we return from this short break. Of course, then the phone lines will be open, and I'll tell you the phone lines to call. So do stay tuned. The recap is still on.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
You have to know the past to understand. Yeah,
we have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV. Show up, speak up. BOP TV.
present. So, let's bring you up to speed on important moments in the polity that you might have forgotten.
Politics as normal have been suspended today.
Detailed review plus analysis of all the local
Senate moves to recover 6 trillion naira ground rent from property owners age 5.
and foreign stories that made the headlines during the week.
President Putin accepts defeat. President Putin keeps on coming back for more.
All of the intrigues,
PSF confirmed interest flow in store in central government.
tension,
The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what they do now.
suspense, and political dramas.
This is a shining moment. I commend
The
INEC.
higgy haggers that took center stage just within the week.
You cannot criticize African countries for being undemocratic.
Will resist interim government.
Join the conversation on The Recap every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. only on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Study the past if you want to define the future.
Pardon me. Yes, it's time for you to call in on the program. And of course, let's hear your opinion, your suggestion, your idea, and just whatever you have to say. It's exactly 2 minutes past 5 p.m. by my clock right here in the studio. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. If you would rather send a message to our WhatsApp line, it is to 0817 175 6338 0817 175 6338. Again on WhatsApp, it's 0817 175 6338. Remember to keep it civil, keep it polite, and keep it factual. You're my first caller for the day. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
What's your name and location, please? Oh, all right. Give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Call me up. I definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello there. I've picked your call. Good evening. All right. Give me a call back. Network, don't even do this thing you want to do today. Don't do it. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. 0700 903 903 903. Call me up. This is just, let's just take a quick reminder of all different topics that we've discussed today. So when you call in, make sure that you're talking about either of these topics. But before that, let me take this call. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Okay, good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
I'm New York Pharmacy.
Welcome to the conversation. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah. What I want to speak about is about corruption. Yeah. Let's say the corruption starts from Obasanjo and Abiola. I want to start corruption from this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Come again. Hello, are you there? Hello? All right, give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Please turn down the volume on your radio set. Hello? What is going on? Please turn down the volume on your radio set before calling so that we can have a seamless conversation. 0700 903 903 903. Call me up. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello there.
Hello, good afternoon, Chairman.
Hi.
Please, let me make a call, please.
Welcome to the conversation. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah. I want to speak to word on my brother.
He can hear you. Yeah.
Please. The people that is talking about people in property, I'm advising them maybe they go buy super glue. Maybe they take come out for there. You understand me? If all of them want to be these stomach politicians, the teacher is one of them. It's not one of them. where obedient are looking for a party that will stand for Nigerians. If not that party, obedient are not going there. Peter Obi are not going there. And another one is this: 2027, as they are planning to make us one party system, we Nigerians, we are planning to do them, to degrade them finally 2027. Maybe they put this in their mind. All of them that have been in the Labour Party working for APC and PDP working for APC, we know all of them and we are marking them. When that 2027, all of them will run away with that money they give them and leave Nigerians alone. Let's be going. From Kenya, I'm giving you prophecy today. From Kenya, and this Ghana government make mistake December, they will start seeing what the Kenya people are seeing at Ghana there. And Nigeria will get ready 2027. God bless you people.
Thank you, Nemeka, for your call. 0700-903-903-903. Guess what? You can also call me up on WhatsApp and I'll take your call. That's on 0817-175-6338. Yes, you can send a WhatsApp message, and yes, you can call me on WhatsApp. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
Wally, I'm calling from my village.
Okay, Wally, your voice is quite low. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, let's hear from you in a minute or two.
So, what is the issue on ground? Without my late before I came into the school. Just tell me the song, then I can give my own.
All right, keep listening and you hear the issue on ground, all right? 0700-903-903-903, 0700-903-903-903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? What's your name and location, please?
Hello, good afternoon, sister.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
This is Barrister.
Yeah, I have Mr. Anoske in the studio. He can hear you. Welcome to the conversation. Let's hear your opinion.
So please, I'm only praying and asking all the whole nation Nigeria to pray for our nation Nigeria. 2007, we prayed there should be Nigeria. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm with you.
2007, let us pray that there will be Nigeria.
2007 or 2027?
Yes, let us pray that there will be Nigeria. God bless you.
Okay. Let's pray that there will be Nigeria. All right, 0700-903-903-903, 0700-903-903-903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Malife. I'm calling from Yanapaja.
Welcome to the conversation. Let's hear from you in a minute or two.
Okay, I agree to your guest, Mr. Anosike.
Yeah, he can hear you.
You see, I totally agree with him when he said that Nigeria are docile. That is complete truth. Because at times I listen to this radio station. At times, even radio stations in Nigeria, they will keep on encouraging people to be speaking. They are hearing your voice. Look at what happened in the Kenya. Is it their voice that they had before everything turned like that? At times in life, actions speak louder than voice. So here in Nigeria, they will be encouraging people to be speaking. They are hearing your voice. Kenyan people that have been speaking since. But the government, they didn't hear their voice. It's only when they took action, then everything changed around, turned around. So but for us here, we are passing through. Kenyan people cannot even take action. But they see what stand up and took action. So that is how we're supposed to go about it. This thing is getting out of hand. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700-903-903-903. 0700-903-903-903. That is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. So I just saw a message on WhatsApp that's really interesting, but let me take this call and I'll come back to it because that person is asking you a question, Mr. Anoske. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma.
Yes. What's your name and location, please?
Anoske. I agree, sir.
He can hear you. Please go right ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes. I greet you.
I greet you too.
I also greet the voice of the people because they are doing a great work. In short, my prophecy or my analysis is telling me that voice of the radio or journalists, they have taken over pastors' work. Because what we are hearing in the radio station is benefiting us more than what we are hearing in the church. So I congratulate you, people, all journalists, on media. So what I want to say is that in 2022, when we had this catch something and the other one, election, I said there's problem ahead. Because these two problems came together. So I just want to cut it short. In 2023, if Tinubu did not announce subsidy is gone, this country will collapse. Now, we are heading 2027. This coastal road and minimum wage, I'm telling you, it will bring a great problem in Nigeria. Because two of them it's not supposed to come together. It will create more hardship. So, I greet you all.
Thank you.
Brother, I'm speaking. Because we are talking like a pastor now. I want to come back to your program. Because I want to see you face to face.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
May God bless you all.
And you as well. Thank you so much. I must thank you for holding on. Thank you so much for holding on. Good evening. My apologies, please. Let's hear from you quickly.
Thank you for picking my call.
What's your name and location, please? Hello? Can you hear me? What's your name and the location, please?
Yeah, can you hear me? This is Renata calling from Spain.
All right, quickly. Let's hear from you in a minute. The network is glitching.
Okay. Mr. good evening, sir.
He can hear you.
Okay. For this thing, what I pick, I say, what a country. What a country in the sense that our Papa, after what he did during this election tribunal, is still in that party. They did not sanction that guy. The guy still have.
Are you with us, Zerenadi?
Yes, this is Zerenadi. Are you hearing me?
You might have to give me a call back. Unfortunately, the network would not allow us to have a seamless conversation. So do give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. Good evening, Monday. How are you today?
Hello, good evening, Choma.
Good evening, Monday. How are you?
Well done. Oh, happy weekend.
Happy weekend to you as well. Let's hear from you quickly, Monday.
Okay, you see, this is 2023. We thank God that some Nigerians are still expressing the difficulties, but even though the election, some people do not survive it, and even the cash crunch and the election, with the way that dogs come out, because me, I'm a street guy. I always go to so many places that they put polling units. And 2027 now, they are planning of election. So many common Nigerians are going to bed hungry. They did not think how to do our well-being, our welfare. is when election come, they will just split money like corn. We, the masses, will pick it like chicken. And they will say they are voting anybody they vote. They don't have any plan for the masses. Look at the road. When rain fall, people are lamenting, crying. And so many local governments are living among us. They don't do it. Oh. And APC government now, and they are planning how to promise Nigerians to enter 2027. But God will not allow it because we do not want APC again.
Okay.
That's what we want. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Thank you so much for holding on. Good evening and welcome to the recap.
Yeah, Choma, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. What's your name and location, please?
Okay, this is Renata calling from Spain.
All right, beautiful. I can hear you so much better now.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Mr. Anosika, good evening, sir.
He can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Choma, I asked her, I said, what a country. What a country in the sense that upon what our Papa did during the election tribunal, our Papa is still in that party. And they welcome him and accept him. Instead of to sanction that man, what a country. Now he still have the mouth and said they are united with Abure. After what he did, what a country. What a country again is on the side of this, the guy that I used to respect. This Sani. Instead of look at what happened, what is happening in that country, instead of that man to the advice Tinubu, step down. You can't do anything. Now he's telling him for him to be relevant. What a country. The man I so much respect. Now look at what he's playing for them to recognize him, maybe give him posts. Instead of him to say, look at what is happening, this country is not great, nothing is happening in this country. My dear, if I cannot do it, just step down. That is how it's done in this country, in any civilized country. It's just doing a survey, let him go. For Kenya, honestly, I've said it, but the only thing I'll be a bit against, in the sense that Nigeria, look at somebody called now, he was trying to tell you that this corruption started doing Abiola and I say, look at people. Now Nigeria, somebody can just come out. People are afraid because here in Europe, here we are based. If the people protest and one person is gone down, my dear, the country that president must go down, or he will run out of the country. But you look at which I still appreciate this. I just respect him for him to accept that at least he made mistake, but still let him step down. That is the instant. People have lost their life. But what I don't Nigeria is this: people that if somebody lost his life here after during protest, they will the family of that person will just give scholarship. People even prefer to die for them people to take care of their family. At least you see them in the future. But I don't know, but Nigeria, once somebody died, nobody here care about them. Nobody will just say, look at people that died in during the NSAS. Nobody cares about their family. That is why people find it difficult to come out and they protest. But what a country. Let Tinubu, that's the advice. He cannot do what is, when I am saying Nigeria, he cannot do anything. Let him step down, please.
Thank you so much, Serenading.
Take care. And my promise, if anytime you come to Spain, I will host you, my dear brother, my dear sister. So keep the good work, and you understand the rest.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Serenadi, for your call. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and your location, please?
This is Ola from Surulere.
Welcome, Ola from Surulere. Hello there. All right, give me a call back. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, Choma.
What's your name and location, please?
Good evening. This is Joval.
Welcome, Joval.
Hello, Mr. Peter. I greet you over there. My point is very simple. What happened in Kenya will not likely happen in Nigeria. The reason is simple. Like Mr. Nosike has said, Nigerians are docile. And again, if you look at what happened in the last election in 2023, this clannishness and the tribalism is the problem that we have in Nigeria. That this person is my brother, it's from my tribe. And that is why the country is not moving to move forward. In a place like Kenya, They came together, stormed that assembly that made the law, chased every one of them away. You know, Mr. Peter just told about a president that jumped fence and was running away from his people, the people of the country. That is what happened in Kenya. All those people that made that law, they are hiding right now. And the people decided that president of Kenya must leave. It is going to be so. But I am saying in Nigeria, it is high time we started going for these lawmakers who are supposed to represent us that are representing their pockets. Look at it, for example. They decided to sit and deliberate on purchasing new planes for the president. Something like that vice president's house that was renovated with billions of naira is something they were supposed to question the executive for such enormous expenses just to put a house of a VP in order, while Nigerians cannot afford to buy foodstuffs to eat. I went to the market just now to check on the potato choma. My utter surprise, 4 pieces of potato were sold for 2,000 naira. A tuber of yam, 10,000. And these are the people you want to pay 62,000 naira. Like Mr. Peter said, Tinubu will dribble NLC. He will not do anything about this minimum wage because if you notice, it started since last year. So let them do something, move out, and do something about these things. Nigerians should be ready, stop being docile, go out, hold these people to accountable, let them know that power belongs to the people. That is the only way out. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for calling 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. 0700 903 903 903. We're actually having candid conversations right here on the recap. And if you want to be a part of it, all you need to do is send a message to our WhatsApp line 0817 175 6338, or you can as well call us up on a direct call 0700 903 903 903. You can also drop your comment on our YouTube platform. It's at VOP 903 FM. So I got a message on WhatsApp saying, please ask Sir Anosike, just like Ghana, is there any way they can bring about independent candidacy in our electoral system? Adam from AJ City. You want to answer that?
It's not in our constitution at this point in time. There's nothing like independent candidate in our constitution.
Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
People is on the line. Good evening, Choma, and your guest, Peter Anotuke.
Yeah, he can hear you. Thank you so much for calling. Let's hear from you quickly.
God bless you. Actually, I agree with Peter Anotuke on most of his analysis. In fact, almost all of them. However, I want to just take 2 areas. The minimum wage. I agree with him that the state should pay differently, but let it be also known that the postponement of this minimum wage by saying that he's going to consult with the other people, that is the Mr. President, is just to douse the political tension, so that this labor force, if they mention any amount now, definitely they will digest it. You understand? So, at the moment, let the postponement down the tension. Instead, I'm thinking, just as the guest also thinks, that the inflationary trend should come down by making sure that they open the border so that things will come in. So that when things are cheap, especially for the masses, then whatever amount they want to pay the labor force, they are bound to agree with it. And even if they go on strike, people will go against the labor force. That is that. Then on Kenyan issue, I also agree with him. You understand? That is with your guess. But the issue is that let's also remember that during that is the cyber security levy, it was stepped down. You understand, by Mr. President. So people also said that he was a listening, or that our president listening president, just as the finance bill in Kenya was stepped down. Well, conclusively, I would say that protests are always organized, but revolution is a spontaneous issue. It is not organized. So, in as much as we believe that Nigerians are docile, many Nigerians are very, very docile, and nobody wants to die, but everybody wants to go to heaven. So, because why? We don't have the guns. So, we're only praying that there should be political stability. Because if there's political stability, there'll be progress. But the government will also know that there'll be a time when you put people to the wall and they are bound to come back. We don't pray for that. Thank you for giving the opportunity, Sister Chioma. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Osifo, for your call. Thank you for holding on. Good evening. Welcome to the recap.
Yes, good evening. This is Ola from Surulere. Thank you very much.
Let's hear from you quickly.
Yes, let me start from where you stop. The Kenya issue. Number one, I think he has explained it. I like the way Anosike explained it, that the power belongs to the people. But the only addition is that the cost of living in Kenya is higher than Nigeria. In Kenya, a room, they are paying electricity bill of $200. The fuel price in Kenya is almost 1,500 per liter. So cost of living in Kenya is higher than Nigeria. Then on the issue of the president, Mr. President in Nigeria is a listing president. He did not allow the issue to deteriorate to the level of protest before he intervened and step down whatever request that people are talking about. And look at the issue of the construction that they want to do. Now, they are coming up with a master plan where we have construction all over the country, the Calabar, Lagos, the Badagry, Sokoto, and Sub-Sahara from Enugu to the Abuja. So these are good ones. The only one I would advise government to rethink again is 155 billion. They want to use and buy food and be sharing that will not go round. So they need to stop that and make sure that they use that money to intervene in wheat production so that the cost of bread, the cost of flour can come down and Nigeria will be relieved. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Allah, for calling all the way from Surulere. Quickly, let's hear from you. Good evening. What's your name and location? Hello, are you there? I've picked your call. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
What's your name and your location?
18 from Zapalata.
Quickly, let's hear from you in a minute or two, please.
Yes, for shoes, Tony. I've seen the average of the world. Let me tell you, Mr. President Tinubu is already going to come 2027. I'm speaking as an...
Please give me a call back. That was really, really great into the ears. I could hardly hear you. So give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello?
Hi, what's your name and location, please? Oh dear, give me a call back. I definitely wanted to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location?
Good evening. How are you there?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Chinyere. Calling from Nebeda.
Welcome, Chinyere. Let's hear from you in a minute or two.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. See, Nigerians, we specialize in making noise. Look at Kenya. Do you know that Libyans, they are earning good living, but because they don't have freedom of association, that is why they fight till. Before I was in, I spent 12 years in Libya. Before you mention Gaddafi name, it will take you 1 year to mention that name, Gaddafi. But he didn't expect that people that fear him so much will bring him down. Now look at Kenya. Nigeria cannot be like all these countries. Okay, look at Niger. Niger see that their government is going beyond their expectations, so they take over. Nigeria run, said they want to kill them. Why they go take over? Why they go say they not like the government? Because the whole world is watching America following their footsteps. The whole Africa is watching Nigeria in corruption, following their footsteps. So thief can never hold a thief captive. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. Nigeria will always make noise. We cannot do anything. Jonathan made a very big mistake because he don't know the value of power. That is why he surrendered to APC. Since when APC take government, that is the end of Nigeria's story in good governance. So APC during 2023, when the campaign was going on, APC, they were even Tinubu self he never declared before they begin the column Tinubu president. Nigeria were shouting. I was calling Radio House for them to pick. Let me sure. Those people, when they took their knock hand for their chest and yet is still the boss, that they believe in your voting, we can't be deceived all the time. The poll on street both Atiku or both Peter Obi, he doesn't care. Who is going to make the announcement? Hello?
I'm with you.
Yeah, who is going to make the announcement? That is the problem. The problem of Nigeria today, you know that Chief of Army Staff or Defense Chief of Israel, he resigned because he feared sudden attack on Israel. He feels a mistake. Why he resigned? Because he feels that people he failed to protect, they killed them. The enemy came in and overpowered them, killed them. He resigned. No. Do you know that the whole disgrace, the whole insult, the whole propaganda concerning this our president, and yet up to the thing is happening. Do you think that he's going there to work for you? He's going there to work for you. He will resign.
Thank you.
Nigeria, sorry, please.
No,
because
we need to hear from others. That's it. We need to pick calls from other people as well.
Okay, sorry. Let me. So Nigeria, these people have conquered us by dividing and rule. When you talk that, so they are so no problem, Nadia, because they are easy to confuse. If Hausa say no, no. If people say no, no. You understand? So when are we going to end our crime in this country?
Thank you.
Everybody is fearing. Nobody wants to talk. Even the opposition party, they don't want to talk because when you talk, you miss.
Thank you so much for your call. When you call in, as much as you keep it civil and keep it polite, remember to also keep it short and simple. Welcome to the recap. Thank you so much for calling and thank you for holding on.
Good evening. This is Gideon. I'm calling from Nigeria West.
Welcome, Gideon. Let's hear from you in a minute or two.
Okay. The problem, seriously, we are going currently in this country, I put it on organized labor and trade union. They are the ones that have allowed us to be passing through this mess. And now they're trying to fix it. It's late. It's too late for them to do it now. From day one, the president announced the removal of fuel subsidy. That is where they're supposed to have kickstart their action, protest. At least, even if it's not going to be a fruitful, but at least they're going to give him attention. It happened during Jonathan government. The whole nation was protesting against it, and he did not do what he wanted, even though he did, but not as he intended doing. So when the president announced removal of fuel subsidy from the day of his swearing in, and the labor kept quiet, maybe they were thinking they would take part in the sharing of the cake, but they're disappointed. They are the one that put us in this mess that we're at it today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello?
Hi. Please turn on the volume on your radio set.
Hello?
Please give me a call back when you turn down the volume on your radio set. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. On the WhatsApp at 0817 175 6338. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
I want to ask
30
you
seconds.
Kenya,
30
please.
seconds.
I'm saying, please, briefly, Kenya, their president is about to resign, isn't it?
Well, we don't know yet, but there have been calls for him to resign.
Okay, because do you know why I say this? The first day the demonstration broke out, his speech after the demonstration, the first day, he called the citizens criminals more than 5 times or 6 times. Please, I want to ask you a question, Chioma. Before a president like him will make a speech, they don't the right speech for him to before reading it to the people, isn't it?
Okay, yes, I guess.
Because I wonder, the right criminal, and you are reading it like that for the people. I said to myself, this man has shot himself on the leg. The military now for hijacking the price hijack, and then now they will go for his exit. And through they come for it. It's a lesson given to every politician, both Nigeria here and diaspora, anywhere you find yourself. If you are using the formula, be careful. The people are coming after you. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. You want to say something about that?
I want to reply to Onemeka. Subsidy has been removed. It's not in the speech here that Tinubu read on May 29. So presidents at times add their own. So I'm sure who wrote that speech did not put those things. Just as those who wrote Tinubu own did not put that subsidy has been removed. So Tinubu just added it on his own.
Okay, so it's not Ruto who asked the person that wrote the speech to write criminal 5 times.
No.
Okay, well, glad that is cleared up. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello there.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, what's your name and location? Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
My name is Kismo. I'm calling from Eddie Ojo.
Welcome to the conversation.
Hello?
Welcome. Let's hear from you in 1 minute.
Hello?
Are you there? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, please go ahead with your opinion.
Okay. You see, my dear sister, Shoma, good evening. Hello?
I'm with you. Please just go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
All right, give me a call back 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. I think we can only take 2 more calls and we'll call it today. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location? Hello, I can hear you.
Hello, Anna from Kochi.
Welcome, Anaya. Let's hear from you quickly.
What I have don't know much to say. Chama, good evening.
Good evening.
Except my greeting to Anna Sike. He has spoken. He has speak the whole thing. What I want to add there is let nobody push Peter Obi out of the Labour Party. He has invested a lot in Labour Party. And all Nigerians back him to come to 2027. So anybody that is pushing him out of the Labour Party, that person is his enemy. So that's I rest my case there. Please, thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. You can leave your comment on our YouTube platform. We're streaming live right now. Just head on over to YouTube, type into the search bar VOP 903 FM, VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Leave your comment and I'll take it. Send a message on our WhatsApp platform as well, 0817 175 6338. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. Unfortunately, I could not. We are Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We give you a voice, so call me up. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Sure. I still call back, please. I'm here.
1 minute.
See, what I'm trying to say concerning Peter Obi. Peter Obi can never leave Labour Party.
Never?
They are trying...
Never?
Yeah, can never... He can. Peter Obi can't leave Labour Party. All those engineering is coming from opposition party. APC have seen that Peter Obi is the highest threat to their government. They don't care about PDP. They don't care about a new party this or new party that. If you watch when the 2023 the presidential election case, he was afraid. He only say if they want to rerun, Peter Obi will not follow. So, and you know who is the president is. He can never allow that Labour Party to rest till election 2027 is gone. So they just want to destroy Peter Obi because they know that he is if he can destroy Peter Obi, forget it now.
Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. 0700 903 903 903. I will be taking your messages on WhatsApp and your comment on our YouTube platform in 1 minute. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Are you there? Welcome to the recap.
Yeah, good evening, my sister.
What's your name and location, please?
This is Mr. Paulinus. I'm calling from Isolo.
Welcome, Mr. Paulinus. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yes, sir. My sister, my opinion is that I have heard everybody's opinion. We are almost speaking the same voice. I agree to Mr. Anosike there with you. Yes, you have speak the mind of Nigerians. What I'm trying to say is this: our APC offensive. These people, they are not going to give us anything in this country. Because of what? Can you see everybody is dying in hunger? Yesterday, the record this I bought last week, 1.5. Yesterday I went there, it is 2,000 naira, just the record of this. People are dying. You see, they are talking of this cholera something now, telling people what they should avoid, how to eat and how to eat. I'm just thinking of in the next 2 years now, the kind of sickness that will happen to we Nigerians because we are eating anything we see. Nobody have time to select food. It is where do you go eat? People are looking for any alternative to eat. Understand? Drugs now you can't buy it. I have disability. The people that are even helping me, nowhere, everywhere is just we are not eating. Nigeria is crying. Not only me, everybody is crying, hungry. We can't eat a meal in a day. What kind of country is this? People are dying because this news I'm hearing about Kenya. I pray make that thing not take place in this country because I don't know how I will. I don't know. I'm crying as I'm talking to you. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much for calling as well. There's certain things you hear and it makes you feel quite somber. And at the end of the day, all many Nigerians are asking for is good governance and consideration from the federal government that is supposed to be that is in charge of actually making sure that that the country is the way it's supposed to be and that the citizens enjoy the dividends of democracy. My name is Choma Innocent. I'm your host and you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break and when we return, I will be reading your messages on WhatsApp and taking your comments on our YouTube channels. To stay with me, the recap is still on. Welcome back. It's time for me to take your messages on WhatsApp and your comment on our YouTube platforms. And as usual, I will be beginning from our YouTube platforms. Let's start from the very first comment we had, and it's from Ola Adewale, who says, "Where in the country does hope lies? It is obviously not on the career Janko skis of Nigeria." Okay, what will Nigerians do when most of the building blocks of the people are no longer in existence? Are there ways out for the disunited, disconnected, and disjointed Nigerians at this point? Ike Umuhi says, this analyst is wrong about minimum wage. The United States national minimum wage is $7.25. States can pay higher wages than $7.25 national minimum wage. Oladiwale says, we are the investigative journalists at the voice of the people level, but who is challenging the status quo and the power that be? Because things are getting very bad in Nigeria. Isaac Vincent says, Labour Party should concentrate and strategize on how they can stop the money bags from buying INEC and the judiciary. Oladiwale says, who will retrieve all the loot? Why do you think the government is jumping from pillar to post? Do you know Nigerians never realize the power they have to remove and recall the incongruous and the incompetent National Assembly member we found unfit? Mazi Prince says Ghana is about to protest and Nigeria is being docile. Okay, he also says Ike Umu here is right on minimum wage in America. Nigeria needs to start hourly wages that will help people manage their time and increase their productivity. Ike Omuhia says USA national minimum wage equivalent in Nigeria is 812,000 naira per month. Mazi Prince says prayers without work is nullified. Oga Speaker, continue your prayers and nothing will happen. And whenever Chema visits the US, I will host her as well. Okay. He says, Peter Osifo, talk about your Edo State this man now for you. Anako Nwanosike says, God bless you all. And God bless you also as well. We're moving on to WhatsApp to take your messages from there right now. All right, you say the person who asks that just like Ghana, is there any way they can bring about independent candidacy in our electoral system? That's Adam from AJ City, and you've answered the question saying it's not in our constitution. And he says, okay, can they pass it into law already? Can this go into our constitution so that we can have independent candidates?
We are amending
the constitution.
The constitution.
All right, moving forward, good day to everyone. If Mr. President and his cabinet wants to work indeed, they should just do away with whatsoever that has to do with palliatives and things of that nature, and then focus on making sure that the cost of things come down in a way that both the rich and the poor will actually benefit from it. Again, the NLC should also focus on making sure that the cost of things drops too, and then forget about the so-called amounts they are demanding for. Godson from Sulere. Thank you, Godson. Good evening, Chairman, Mr. Peter Anaske. Please, the notion that NLC did not object when the president announced that subsidy is gone is not very correct. NLC's president spoke against it and even said the government should return the status quo before negotiations can begin. Series of attacks, including the fire accident at his residence. Thank you, Simisola from Isolo, Lagos. Thank you so much. Good evening, Chama and Mr. Anaske. Mr. Anaske, Nigeria is in dire need of survival as a result of corruption. In your candid advice, considering the coup d'etat in Africa, should Nigerians follow suit in order to reshuffle the incumbent government and curb corruption, or approach the churches and mosques and pray to God for a better Nigeria? Mr. President and all politicians at the top, what is your advice for the masses, considering the hardship bedeviling the citizenry? Should the masses vehemently take to the streets in order to prove the intensity of their complaint, or pray for you politicians until they are doomed to death by your inimical policies and corrupt practices? Even in death rattle will be unstoppable to be stopped by the politicians, and the outcome of the number of deaths will be enormous considering the population of the country. Okay, Chisco from Ijagui Jagamo. Okay, thank you for your message. Good evening. It's Adeyemi Kamori from Satellite Town, Lagos. If Peter Obi was in APGA and there was a crisis in APGA and he moved to PDP, then he moved to Labour Party, and then the empirical evidence point to the fact that Peter Obi is the problem. And not the parties. Okay, good evening, my brother Peter Anaske and sister Chama. APC is already strategizing on how to win the next election. But Tinubu is a Maradona. He wants to use every possible means to... Okay, I want to assure you that if there's free, fair election, they can't win one local government in Nigeria. The Northerners are complaining when we are in Genesis. But by the time we get to numbers, there will be a revolution. He's nothing to offer. If I were him, I would resign. He's achieved his aim of being president, which Awolowo did not achieve. Although Awolowo has more respect, all well-meaning Nigerians must unite together to vote APC out of power. But before then, they have to merge with other political parties. That's Prince Ayotek says let them release Nnamdi Kanu from Prince Ayotek. All right, thank you, Prince Ayo. Northerners should forget about unseating Tinubu in 2027 if they fail to stop him to become Nigeria president. I don't know how they think they can do it now when Tinubu is now president. They should always remember that this is Tinubu, not Jonathan. Tinubu is a real politics, okay, that knows how to play his game. Your guest said Yoruba only give Tinubu 25% of vote and North 65%, despite knowing this fact that we still go ahead and accuse a whole tribe of voting their kinsmen as Nigeria president when they know it isn't possible for one tribe to install Nigeria president. Choma, thank you for making today's program clean. Okay, Olu from Badagry. Thank you, Olu from Badagry. Good afternoon. Let me first say this. I'm not a fan of this current president, but your analysis needs to be objective in his words. You don't call out people without proof. So, if Apapa Arabambi sue you, sir, for what you just said, they're working for Tinubu, which I agree with you, but I have no proof. But, sir, do you have proof to back up your words that they're working for Tinubu in case they sue you? Since our court dwells mostly on evidence, even when the case is so glaring. Greetings to him. May God Almighty continue to protect him. Nigerians are under siege. I'm proud of Kenya people. You don't underrate the power of the masses. Well done, Chioma. AY from Mushin. Thank you, AY. Ms. Chioma, the Nigerian public and the Nigerian government are strategically toxic. My question is, where do we go from here? The question is from Udom. Udom, guess what? I'm asking the same question as well. Good evening, VOPC. What is going on in Kenya? People broke into the Senate House and went straight to the kitchen, ate all their food, sign of hunger and hardship. Nigeria, please wake up and fight for your right now, Ima. Nigerians never realize the power they have to remove and recall incompetent National Assembly members. Good evening, VOP. I do not agree with your guest speaker that only a coalition can unseat the APC. The only requirement for the task is a free, fair, and credible election. The role of INEC should be examined seriously to avoid what happened in 2023. Chima from Sulere. Clay from Ajau says, Chima, your guest, Peter Obi, always cracks me up, especially with this his comparison of Buhari and Atiku as representing the poor and the rich, respectively, in the Northern Prism. Hello, I'm Nonso from Igondo. Okay, no, so this your message is not for me, but yeah, that's it. Let me see. I still have the only problem of Nigeria is INEC and INEC only. Evening, Chairman, Mr. Anosike, my journalist of the year. Mr. Anosike has said it all. You can see all that transpired in Kenya when the people protested and the government reversed its anti-people policies. There was no counter-protest, even though the police killed some people. The president apologized, and still the people are protesting for his removal, which he might still do. Unlike what we have here, if you protest, the government and the musketeers will send counter-protests using Agbero and police to disorganize it. Remember NSAS, where people were massacred and people are still in jail just because they did a peaceful protest? Is this a democracy? Where journalists are intimidated, people are harassed in these 2023 elections under incumbent in Lagos, saying if you don't vote the ruling party, you won't vote. It is a shame that the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dayo from Fagba. Dayo, see that I not edit your message today, huh? Thank you. If you keep sending it this way, I wouldn't have reason to edit it. And I must thank you. Mr. Peter Anosike, I need to get a conclusion over everything that has been discussed today. What is your stand on all the different topics that we have discussed today in a minute or two?
From the WhatsApp messages, the one that struck me more is the one that there was no counter protest in Kenya. Understand? But here in Nigeria, even those who are suffering the same thing that those who are protesting are suffering, they'll be given a 500 naira, 1,000 naira to go and do counter protest against the people who are protesting against the government. Why you are even worse than those protesting? That is the hypocrisy of a people, and that's what turns me that's angry most of the time. When people are protesting for a genuine cause, then others will organize themselves for a counter. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame. We have a very long way in this country. But I know that what happened in Kenya is a wake-up call to other presidents in Africa. Because as it happened in Kenya, it can also happen anywhere in the continent. So it's a wake-up call. And it's a welcome development. Governments should sit up. Otherwise, it will go, it will spread.
All right, you have been listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The voice you just heard belongs to Peter Obi. My name is Chioma Innocent. I've been your host. Let's do this again on Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for calling. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sending in your message. We'll do this again on Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Until then, do your best to make Nigeria better in your own little corner of the world. You can find me on Instagram at _the radio girl at _the radio girl, and you can find Mr. Peter Anasake on Instagram at Peter Anasake 77. Bye for now.
This is the station that gives you a voice.
How can you be jubilating when judgment has not been given? Meaning that you are bribing the judiciary.
You see a lot of young Nigerians who are leaving the country in droves. They are running away to escape poverty.
They are not looking at this issue, and I think Nigerians should rise.
Many families and properties have been destroyed. Accountability is one of the things that is lacking in governance in this country.